everybody, and welcome to our next sessions for our Tuesday teachings. We're actually going to go over e-commerce analytics for the next couple of weeks. And if you're just joining us, let me have an opportunity to introduce myself to you. I am Shawna Siegel. I'm the CEO of One Choice for Your Store. And of course, if you have any questions, please email us, support@1c4y.com. If you want to connect on Facebook or Twitter, please. I would love to have you join and love connecting with our customers. And for those of you that don't know how I got started, basically it was around the end of 1999, beginning of 2000, when I started my first online store as a single mom, and things kind of blew up from there. And I would love to say that I was the picture perfect mother, but that really was not the case. I was in jammies and pulling out my hair, and I was going crazy because my kids were in the background and they were like screaming while I'm trying to like talk or do things, and now I have dogs that do it. But now what I do is I'm a Yahoo small business partner, and I love teaching. And we've got a lot of new people that are joining us for this series, and I'm so glad to have you guys here. So welcome, welcome, welcome. We love having you here. Now, we have lots of education available. So our next sessions are going to be about e-commerce analytics. On Wednesdays, we have a group coaching, and it's where we all just get together every week. We just finished up with landing page optimization, and social media marketing is starting tomorrow. So if you need help with using social media to get more sales, I highly recommend you join us. That starts tomorrow. And on Thursdays, we have a class on Yahoo stores where we go into a little bit more detail about how to set up specific parts of your store, how to use different parts of your store, just basically trying to help you out, learn the ins and outs. And of course, we have HTML and CSS. Our next class starts July 4th, and I highly recommend it. It's a really great opportunity to learn more about your store and how you can make changes for it. One of the great things about our HTML and CSS class is that your employees, your family members, they can all take it free with you, and you are allowed to join all future classes. So for instance, if you sign up for this class and in the middle of it things go a little bit crazy, you are invited to join us for the live events from here on out. Or if you feel like one of the sections was difficult and you want to go back over it. So not only will you have the videos, but you can also join in on the live classes. Now, some of the upcoming classes we have will be starting up an RTML class August 5th. And our next class after that will start September 9th, which is JavaScript and jQuery. One of the things, though, I do highly recommend is that you take the HTML and CSS, begin that before you do the JavaScript. Now, why are we doing the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript? There's a lot of changes coming, and it doesn't matter really what platform that you're on, whether it be a Yahoo store, BigCommerce, Amazon store, eBay store. All of them require you to know a little bit about HTML and CSS to control your store. Now, this week we are focusing on the big picture of e-commerce analytics. And just to give you an idea, we have been working on, looking at goals and how do we get there and how do we increase conversions. We've talked about using content for increasing conversions, for matching the intent, for matching the expectation. And we do this because if we don't, we will lose our traffic, our organic rankings, and our sales, and basically they'll go purchase from our competitors. So what we have to do is understand the awareness, the interest, the desire, and the action. And we have to use analytics to help us with that. So for this course, it is 4 weeks long. Week 1 will be working on setup. Week 2 will be the introduction to e-commerce analytics. Week 3 is understanding your customers, and week 4 is understanding shopper behavior. That's a big one. And the great part is that along the way, if you complete this on the Google side, you will get a certificate of completion from Google after you work on the course. So our goal is to do the course with you and help you to pass it and get that certification. But bigger than that is helping you to increase your sales. So the course is really designed to help e-commerce business to make informed decisions based on that Google Analytics data. And what we'll do is we are going to review various reports, and that's going to help us to really understand, customer acquisition or user behavior and conversion. That's another big one. And the big goal is, how do we interpret reports? How do we dig deeper into your data? And basically, ultimately, how do you take action to improve your business? Because that's what it's all about. If we're not helping you to improve your business and do more, then we're not doing a very good job. We're not doing a very good job at all. And that's not what we want to do. So we're going to look at digital analytics. And basically, this can be overwhelming. But here's how Avinash Kaushik defines it. Digital analytics is the analysis of qualitative and quantitative data from your business and the competition to drive a continual improvement of the online experience that your customers and potential customers have, which translates to your desired outcomes. We want the sales. Okay? So what does analytics tell us? Well, it tells us the size of your online audience. It tells us where they're located. It tells us how the performance of your online marketing is going. And it also says, what do people do once they get there? Now, we're going to work on a little bit on setup today. And there are different processes to this. And depending on what type of store that you have, the process will be different. So we're really going to do a very basic setup, and I'm going to provide you with links at the very end, or websites that I want you to view that are going to help you to do an in-depth but more like complete setup of this process, basically based upon who your shopping cart is with. Generally speaking, though, once you log into your Google Analytics and click on the admin link, you can click over here on the left-hand side to get your tracking code. And this is your tracking code that I've got kind of outlined. It's going to be different for your website, so you are going to have to make sure that you put your own code into your own website. Now, you also want to make sure that you enable e-commerce tracking. The easiest way to do this, and yes, I will give you a copy of this with the replay, you want to click on the admin from the menu bar at the top of any screen. You want to use your drop-down menu to select your account, property, and view, and then we're going to view the settings. In the e-commerce settings section, all you have to do is click that toggle on and click Save at the bottom of the page. Now, there are some other issues that you have to understand. You need to add the Google Analytics tracking code to your receipt page, your transaction complete page. You need to add some additional e-commerce tracking code to your receipt page so that you can capture the details of each transaction. Now, I highly recommend, if you're a Yahoo store owner, to use monetis.net. They have a free 30-day trial, and if you've never tried it before, try it for the next 30 days as you're going through this class. It will help you to learn more about your store, and I highly recommend this if you are a Yahoo store owner. Now, one of the big problems that happens with this e-commerce side is setting up the e-commerce tracking to track everything that is going on in the store. Because one of the issues is that we've got cross-tracking going on for a lot of the Yahoo stores. And what that basic cross-domain tracking is basically that, you have your URL, and then there's orderstore.yahoo.net. Okay? And so, somebody somebody did ask if we will have a replay of this. Yes, it will be posted on our blog along with a copy of this and the replay and everything else. So I know I'm going through it quickly, but I promise you guys will have all this information available. Now, setting up goals is one way that we've kind of like, it's one of the very important parts of implementation, because basically goals are the way that we can map the data in Google Analytics so we can basically get key performance indicators that you define in your measurement plan. And anytime you think of conversions, you should think about it as macro and micro conversions. So basically a macro conversion is that you want to sell products, whereas a related micro conversion could be that you want them to sign up for your newsletter. So the indicator that we're looking at when they sign up for your newsletter is that they want to stay connected with you. The great part about this is it really gives us a little bit more information, okay? But not only that, we can look at number of conversions and the conversion rate. And our conversions may not always be purchase from us. Our conversion may be that we want them to sign up for our newsletter. We want them to download something. We want them to sign up for our Facebook, like our Facebook page, follow us on Twitter, follow our blog. These are the kind of things that we're looking at. So a conversion rate is not always, did I get the sale? And that's where we can use goals. And there are 4 different goal types that we want to consider. With a destination goal, you can specify the path that you expect traffic to take, and that's called a funnel. And when you specify those steps in a funnel, analytics can record where users enter and where they exit that is on the way to that goal. So the data appears in what is considered to be a goal flow and funneling of reports. So for instance, you might say a page or screen in a funnel from which there's a lot of traffic exits before actually completing the goal that would tell us, oh no, we've got a problem. You know, if they get to the second page of your checkout and they're gone, what's going on with that second page of the checkout? What's happening there that is stopping the conversion? Is it too long? Are there too many steps? Is it too confusing once they get there? So again, we want to look at the goal types. Now, if you've got a Yahoo store, this is a very simple goal that you can put into your store. For those of you in our group coaching, we went over this with Power My Analytics. And basically what we did is, we put in the shopping cart page because that was part of the goal. The name was completed purchase. The destination, okay, was that we want them to get to our review and where they review their order, okay? So we have the different steps and we put in the different pages that they're going to be going to. The shopping cart, the one-page checkout, the review. And again, I'm not going to cover this too much today because today this class is open up to several different platforms, and I don't want to focus too much on that Yahoo store, but I will be providing additional data with the replay on our blog so that way you can get more information on setting these things up. Now, one thing that you want to look at, okay, there's a difference between goal tracking versus e-commerce tracking, okay? So with goal conversion, we're basically counted once per a visit. But in e-commerce tracking, all right, now that's going to happen multiple times during a visit to our website. Let me grab a drink. Okay, let's say that you set one of the goals to be that they are downloading a PDF. and you define that as a goal conversion. And let's say that that goal is worth $5. In this case, if the user comes to your site and downloads 5 PDF files during that single section, you'll only be able to track that first $5. But if you're tracking these downloads as a e-commerce transaction, that's when you're going to see 5 different transactions for $25. So here's another thing that Google states that's definitely worth mentioning. You know, goals in e-commerce transactions, as a best practice, you should really just add a goal value for non-e-commerce goals, because that goal value is cumulative. All right. And if you add a goal value and you track transitions with the e-commerce tracking code, Google Analytics will add the value of the transaction to the value of the goal. So what we were using goals for is to help kind of set up that tunnel for a lot of Yahoo store owners, you know, to be able to gather that information from the analytics and be able to tell kind of what's going on with the funnel, the conversion, and so forth. But things are about to change. Things are about to be moving, and you may be using this on many different platforms. So the goal is to help you get the idea of what we're looking to accomplish, why we're looking to accomplish, and get it set up before our next class when we go into a lot more detail about this. So where do you add this code once you have it all set up? Well, the easy answer is it's basically all the pages that you want to track. So perhaps in a Yahoo store, we want to make sure that we're tracking all of our home page, section pages, and item pages. In that case, we might put the code in the head tags or in the footer. I like to use C4 copyright if it's somebody that has a custom design. I like it in the copyright because typically what you find, especially if you're working on speed optimization, that you try to avoid having too much JavaScript at the top of the page. It takes longer for the page to download. It affects your speed scores. Now, there are people that swear that you should put this code in your head tags. So one of the reasons for doing that is, let's say that you're trying to track your mobile users, and that's really important to you, and you have it in the footer of your page instead of in the head tags. If you have a mobile user with a very slow connection that does not download the page completely, then it's not going to show up in the numbers, because that script that is being downloaded for Yahoo Analytics, or I apologize, for Google Analytics, it has to have the page download. But again, you also have to look at how fast your page is going to load for your customers. So what you have to do is kind of look at, you know, what are you trying to accomplish with this, okay? Now, Juliet asks, is this for any or codes or all of Google codes that they provide? Honestly, it just depends. There are certain cases of coding where you are going to be told this must go in your head tags. There are certain instances where it will say you just need to apply this on all pages that you want to track. And so in that case, it doesn't matter where it comes up. You have to look at more of what's your goal. Are you trying to like find out if people are leaving before they download the page, or you want to get them on your page, and once they're there, start tracking them. The other thing that you want to do is on your Yahoo checkout, there's 2 places you can put it. There's a page message set up for every page of your shopping cart. You could pop the code in there. I find it's much easier that you go into the checkout wrapper, and that's under the checkout manager. Just click on the first link under global settings, and then there's a tab that says checkout wrapper, and I like to put that at the very, very, very bottom of my checkout wrapper footer. So this week is more of study for you guys and more of what we need to do to get you ready for the official class by Google. So we're making this kind of short and sweet because you've got homework. The first step is we want to make sure that you sign up for the e-commerce analytics class on Google. And if you're not sure how to get there, go to blog.onechoiceforyourstore.com and click on the link for the e-commerce analytics. This will take you directly to the Google's website that we're doing this class in conjunction with. One of the things that I found when we had just kind of like a private group of people that went through it with us in another class, and we did this with a lot of very, very beginner store owners. We really wanted to test these classes out with beginner store owners, and what we found is that it was very difficult for them to follow along because they didn't have the history of knowing some of this information. And so that is our goal with going with you through this class. But the big step is making sure that you set up everything correctly. Now, all these links, the video replay, the PDF, all of this will be at our blog, blog.onechoiceforyourstore, that you're going to be able to download. And let me also, in the chat box, give me just a second here. We'll get that also in the chat box so that you guys can click on that. Give me just 1 second here. And I'll go here and so here is our blog. It's blog.onechoiceforyourstore.com. I am entering this in the chat so that you can click on it. And what you might want to do is, our Facebook page isn't that active, I'll be honest. We are a little busy helping out our customers with their Facebook and doing all of that, so we're definitely not as good as we should be. And our site has lots of problems too, but we're working on customer sites first. So forgive the mess, but you know what? Make sure that you get on there and follow it. You can actually subscribe. Just click on the yellow button up here, and then you'll get the emails for that whenever that they're posted. So just click on the first link there and sign up. Now, once you get signed up for the class, it's very easy to get started. They'll give you a URL that you can use, and you click on e-commerce analytics from data to decisions, and you can get going with the class. Now, one of the things I highly recommend that you might want to consider doing is, if you're not ready to get into the Unit 1 Introduction to E-commerce Analytics because you're still trying to figure out how to set up code, what I would recommend is that you start at the Digital Analytics Fundamentals, and they have an area very specifically for setting up Google Analytics. And so I highly recommend that this week that is what the focus is on. If you don't have a lot of, haven't been in Google Analytics and don't know your way around, then you might also want to kind of check out some of the other classes that are available before next week. That's why this class this week is going to be very short and sweet, because we know that there's going to be a lot of people that don't have a lot of history with using Google Analytics. So we wanted to be able to provide you all the things that you needed so we can start the class next week and get that education. So the homework for you is to sign up for the Google Analytics class and add the analytics to your website and check out Digital Analytics Fundamentals. And then next week, we're going to jump right into the Introduction to E-commerce Analytics. And again, we'll do this over a 4-week period. There will be a certificate of completion from Google if you complete all of the lessons and sessions and tests. But you know what? We're going to make sure that we cover all the information that you're going to need to pass these tests with ease. But even better, we're going to make sure that you apply the knowledge that you're using. Apply the knowledge that you're using to your own online store, and that you make informed decisions that are going to help you to increase sales, because that is the ultimate goal. That is the ultimate goal. We want to help you to get that done. That's what we're going to be working on. And so here's basically the format again for the next 4 weeks. Week 1 is setup. Let's get you set up. Let's get a little background info. Next week, we'll start with Introduction to E-commerce Analytics. It's probably supposed to be analytics. Week 3, we'll do Understanding Customers. Week 4, Understanding Shopping Behaviors. Lots of fun. I love this stuff. To me, it's absolutely fascinating. So I'll leave this up on the homework side for a little bit longer. And again, you can get this URL from our blog, and if you need help with adding the analytics to your website, go back into that digital analytics fundamentals and make sure to pay attention there. And then again, you'll also have this download. One of the things that you can also do if you're looking for information on how to do it for your particular shopping cart, do a search in Google. Do a search in Google for add Google Analytics to Yahoo Store. Add Google Analytics to BigCommerce. Add analytics to Amazon. Whatever platform you're on, whatever you're trying to track, maybe you're trying to also track your blog. Whatever you're trying to track, if you do a search, there's so much great information out there, but definitely start with the digital analytics fundamentals, because next week we're going to be jumping right in and really getting into that e-commerce. And I hope you're as excited about it as I am, and that we're going to spend the next couple of weeks together learning some really great information. And if we can help you with other things for your store, if you are looking for help with social media, join up in our group coaching. We're starting a brand new, very fun session on, on getting sales from social media, not just likes, and also we have the upcoming HTML and CSS class that I think is a must. Some of the stuff that students are going to be able to create for their final project. Here's just an idea. Being able to create tabs on their own, being able to implement different headings and how they look, and setting up different buttons within the tabs, or setting up different framed quotes, which would be a really great way to add reviews. Oh yeah, all of this we're definitely covering, and you'll love it. I promise. And we use a great book that's very easy to read as well. So that's awesome. Now, what we did, and this is a great class, thank you. By you signing up for today's class, you are automatically signed up for the next 3 weeks. We will send out a reminder, just in case you forget, but you'll also get reminders from GoToWebinar as well. So you are all signed up. You are all ready. Now it's time for you guys to get to work. I'll leave this up here for a couple of minutes, and again, if you need anything, please support at 1c4y.com. We'll try to help out as much as we possibly can, but until next week, just have a wonderful, awesome, amazing week, and let's get ready to increase those sales and increase your conversions for all the many different goals that you may have. I will talk to you all soon. Thanks again for being here, and I look forward to spending more time with you. Bye, everybody.